Yes. It's me again.
Hey YouTube, it's Cutt here, and we're bringing you another one. Okay, so this one's a client piece. I think I've posted some before, but I'm not sure. Most of them has probably been pieces I've drawn and then promo pieces, but this is one that a client actually paid me to design, which I find that most of the things that I get paid to design are better than the things that I do for myself. But anyway, I guess it's better that way. This piece is something I drew from a client that reached out to me through Instagram, which most of my clients come through Instagram, some via email, some see my website and then they come, but most of the time it's through Instagram. And this was a groundbreaking piece for me because I did some different things in this piece that I didn't do before. And we'll talk about that a little later on. If you want to see the speed drawing without me commentating, you can click right here. It's some dope music that I found that you can see in the description, plus the artwork that I created here. If you want to see a little bit more about this brand, which is Pretty Awkward, go ahead and check out their Instagram and you can see a little bit more about their products. This design was for their, I think they put it on some t-shirts and things like that. And here's it with the logos. I did different logos and things like that, so check it out. What I usually would do is draw it first and then add the logos later. So the drawing takes more time and is a little bit more important. So I always like to draw that first and then give them logo options or different things like that. So if you want to get some custom work yourself, you can send me an email or you can send me a DM. I think DM is better just because it's an easier way of communicating. So send me a DM on Instagram. If you didn't already get yourself a book, go to jcutt.com. Look, pieces coming out and everything. Get yourself a Cutt coloring book. It's available now for pre-order on jcutt.com, link in the description. So let's get started. So bring this back a little bit. So here we are. This one, they wanted it similar to the drawing I did of Missy Elliott, which I will put up soon. And this piece, they wanted, it was of a certain person. I think it was, I don't know if it's of, can't remember this because I drew this about a year ago, but they basically wanted a drawing of this particular person. And I don't know if she has ownership or I can't remember, but this is definitely a fun piece and just kind of mapping out and just trying to get it as closely related to her. They wanted they said like a shy girl. They wanted someone who's kind of shy or a little bit more timid. And I think like closing your eyes and kind of looking down and just having a more like softer face kind of makes you look a little bit more shy. And it was so fun because I did the symmetry. I think this might be one of the first times where I did symmetry for most of it and then took off the symmetry so it's symmetry for the head and then the hat, the hair and everything, but it wasn't symmetry for the bottom base part. So that's where I turned off the symmetry just so that the hair didn't feel too mechanical. And I did the same thing with the inking. So after I sketched it all out, then I went and did the same thing for the inking where I did the inking in symmetry, turned it off, inked it out by itself, and then I think turned it back on to do all the details. And then I'm trying to see how I did the eyebrows. So this is, so I did the full black eyebrow. Just went deep black. That's my favorite way of doing it, but you just can't do that all the time because it just doesn't work for every person and every character. But I prefer to do that. Like that the ring that's on her nose, a nose ring, I knew that was going to be done later because it's not symmetrical. So I was like, I'll do that a little bit later. And just going in, adding that detail, making sure the lines are not like perfectly the same width. You want to have some like tapering to give it a little bit more weight. Like in the cheekbone, you can see it kind of tapers out a little bit. It's not just it doesn't just stop. Same thing with the earrings. You can see there's the symmetry tool is on in Procreate. I'll have a tutorial soon about how to work with that and what to do and some tips on how to activate it and a good way to use it. So you can see, and usually I don't do like detail inside the hat like that, but I thought it'd be kind of cool like to see where her part is and how it's coming out. So now you can see this is where I turned off the symmetry just so that the hair can have a little bit more natural flow at the bottom. And I think I'm adding in the earring now, and now I'm about to, I think I'm about to add the silhouette. Oh, I'm still adding detail to the hat. Yep. And then I filled in the silhouette. So, and this is my early days of really doing that grayscale. Now, this is the method that I never did before, and I don't think I did it after this, and I gotta come back to it, which was shading before adding color in. I usually add in the color, then go shading, then go highlights. This time I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just shade. And I think it was something about just feeling the grayscale that made this piece feel so much different than a lot of my pieces. So I'm definitely gonna be doing this method a little bit more. Like just discovering it again, like, wow, like I didn't do it. I did it really differently. And I'm glad I did it this way, just kind of go in with the shading first, just to feel like what's the temperature, and then come in with the color, because you can always change the color. Coloring is probably the easiest stage. It's the shading and the highlights and all that stuff that takes a little bit more time. So you can see, same thing, just went in. I knew, and see, this is unique because the hair, it's just the head. So usually hair is behind your head, behind your back. But because it's just the head, I'm like, well, still got to do the hair. So this was, and it still worked. I'm shocked it worked, because it could easily look like a mustache, and it didn't. And so I did that. I think I was going to go for orange highlights. I think I changed it. Do I change it? I don't know if I change it or just make the highlights a little bit softer than the yellow highlight. I can't remember. But and a method that I started doing with David Ruffin, actually, which is doing really hard first and then erasing a little bit, just to make the shadow highlight kind of fade out a little bit more, just to make it a little bit more soft, as opposed to these harsh. Sometimes I like that harsh highlight, harsh shadow, but sometimes you want to soften it, just like you can see it's just too hard on the head. So then when you'll see soon, I erase it, and I think this is where I changed the highlight temperature a little bit. Oh, I only did it for the hair. I felt it was too hard, like that warm was too warm, so I softened it up. And you'll see I did a method. There's another method that I did that I also want to bring with the background. The background is very simple, but it was still something different than I would usually do that I really like. I think I just changed the temperature of the shadows, but I think I missed that. Add a little bit of black. It's always nice to add just a little bit of red, like what do you call it? What's it called? Blush onto a dark skinned woman. I think it's really nice. It just brings like temperature in, so it looks really nice. The purple hair was, I don't know, I don't even think that person had purple hair. Maybe they did, I can't remember, but it was definitely, I'm glad I did that, because it really made, and it's not even like a bright purple, it's like a deep purple. So this one I was like, all right, I definitely want to do some highlights, and I was going to keep them firm, but it was too firm. So I think that's when I was like, let me erase a little bit. And I think it was here, when you'll see underneath the eye, I was trying to figure out what's a good shape to indicate, and this shape right here wasn't good. This one worked a lot more, but I knew I had to definitely erase because it was too hard. And did I erase near the bottom? Let me see. I think I did, because that looks a little harsh. Yep, I did. So I erased. You can see like it starts a little bit too firm. So this is the method I was talking about. I usually don't start with a gray background, but it was something about just keeping it gray and adding in that just really changed the look of this. So this piece was very unique, but I'm telling you, it's like when I work with a client, when I don't know, maybe because I'm getting paid for it and I really want to impress, I do things I never even thought I would do before, so I don't really know what that's about. But I'm like, can I bring some of that into my regular stuff, like the stuff I do for myself? Like, my goodness. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm going to be putting a lot more client projects out, like really showing like work that I do for clients. Some stuff some stuff you won't be able to see because of certain laws. Some stuff you won't be able to see because I'm not putting it out there. Some stuff I didn't really like, but they liked, but I ain't putting it out there. Some stuff I will, and some stuff will come out. I have to wait for a certain moment to put it out into the world. So keep your eyes peeled, but I will be putting more client projects out there. If you want to watch this video without me, you can click right here and you'll just see the speed drawing without any commentary, which means you obviously don't belong here. And also don't forget, I have a coloring book that's available now on Kickstarter. On Kickstarter? No, it's not on Kickstarter. No. Kickstarter's done. I fulfilled it. Now you can just go to the website jcutt.com and it's available for pre-order. So you can literally pay right now and that'll put you at the top of the list before everyone else. Don't forget to like, subscribe, push that notification button because we're bringing a lot more stuff to you. Don't forget all the good stuff. That's it. I don't know. What else do you want from me? What are you doing? I know you're not about to leave without liking or sharing or something. I know you see that red button. You better subscribe to my channel. See you soon. I look him in his eyes, but all it tells me